Hey everybody, welcome back to Live Between Paychecks Kitchen. So far so good. We've done 2 autumn soups and it's gotten cooler outside. It's not as bad. The bugs are going back to hell where they belong. So it's working. But this one's not autumnal, but it is bright orange. And I am a fan of Halloween stuff and the black and orange seems to work. So this is gonna be great, whatever. I've seen a lot of people do this. I don't want to tell you a story, but I've seen a lot of people, and I grew up with a shitty, no-name box of macaroni and cheese with like hot dogs cut up in it, and to this day, I can't stand either one of those foods. So this one's going to be different. I hope it's going to be good. I hope it's going to work. We'll get into it. Before we do, be sure to like, share, and subscribe to the YouTube stuff is what I'm going to say. Ring the bell over in this corner to get notifications when we do these on Tuesdays and Fridays with new recipe ideas and all kind of stuff. It's also linked down to the doobly-doo for our merch. Do I have any of the merch? I have our pot holder right here close. My apron is getting clean because I got food all over, obviously. But this is one of my favorite things. This is one that I really try to get everybody to get. It's super cheap. So a little pot holder works, and it's got a cuss word on it because that's how we roll over here. Oh, all right. Let's get into the food. Enough of me talking. It's going to be a nice short one, I think. That or it's going to be horrible. And, all right, let's get into it.
Firstly, just to get out of the way, we're listening and watching 2 Neebs play Conan, the Neebs gaming guys. Super cool group. So, this is going to be easy. You're going to need a box of mac and cheese. Doesn't have to get the flaming hot stuff, but I wanted to try it, so we got the Cheetos brand mac and cheese flaming hot stuff. We're also going to get a pack of these beer brats. I think we're going to use all but one of them, but I'm going to cook them all at the same time to use them all this stuff. I don't want to waste it. Going to need a little bit of butter, a little more than on the package. We're going to need some water to cook our pasta, obviously, and a little bit of milk, about half a cup. Ignore what the back of the box says, okay? Get whatever box of mac and cheese you want to get, that's fine. So we're going to need a skillet and a pot. Get a pot with at least 6 cups of water. This I was just using as representation. That's about 6 cups of water. Turn that up, let it come to a boil. While we're doing that, we're going to get on our skillet. We're going to put it at about a 5 or a 6, right? The slow cook. We don't want it super high. So you want to get about a tablespoon and a half of butter. You can see it on the side here in the writing. Probably not too well on your phone, but just look at your butter. It's going to have it written on there. So get you about a tablespoon of it. Put it in there. I cut it at a weird angle, so I'm going to cut the rest of it off just because I'm using that weird hook knife. All the rest of my knives are in the wash, man. Don't judge me. So let that get melted. Then we're going to put in our brats. Here, you don't want these too high because you'll cook the outside, not the inside. Now, we're going to cut these up anyway, but if you cut them up now, they will fall apart. So you need to cook the outside at least first. So that's what we're going to do. So you cook it until it gets nice and brown on one side and turn it over. Now you see you're just cooking the sides, you know, the top and bottom, as it were. The inside of the curve, the outside, the concave and convex part of your sausages here are not getting cooked as well. So we're going to kind of balance those. It took me a little while and I didn't get video of it. So you cook it on both sides till it gets nice and brown, and you want to turn it up on the edges. Good skillet, you can balance them like this, see, and it's going to cook a little bit on the outside. And even if you do this on both top and bottom, it's still not going to cook the inside very well unless you just do it really low, really slow, get it covered and let it get on there. That's why grilling these is usually better than pan frying, but see, I'm going to show you. So this has got the top and bottom cooked all the way around. We're going to cut it open, but it's still pink inside. So we're going to fix that, get you some kitchen shears or a nice sharp knife. Just don't get the knife or the scissors out of your sewing kit. You're going to be very upset, or your significant other will beat you to death. So the water's boiling. Go ahead and pour the noodles in. Rescue that little packet of quote-unquote cheese product out of it. Give you a wooden spoon. Let those get nice and boiling again, or at least soft. So now we got these. We went and stole some scissors from not the sewing area of your home. And we're going to use that as just kitchen shears and just cut up the sausages. Now that it's nice cooked on the outside, it should hold together very well. So it's not going to be a big problem, okay? When you do it when they're fresh and not cooked, it will just straight come apart. So you want to put those into bite-sized pieces, let them cook around in there until they get browned all over. Doesn't take very long, 2 or 3 minutes. As long as you're putting that meat on the metal, you should be fine. All right, so then once we do that, we get our secret ingredient, or our secret tool. We have a paper towel on a plate, and then just pull all those off. This takes a lot longer because of my little bitty spatula tongs, but get those off, set them to the side. Now you want to check on your noodles once they're nice and soft. You don't want them al dente, hard in the middle. That's gross. Just go ahead and strain it, but don't rinse them. Just leave them warm, okay? Because you're going to go ahead and turn off all your skillets and everything. So you're going to put 2 tablespoons of butter into your noodles, okay? I ended up just cutting it out because that one big piece was a pain in the neck. And then give it half a cup of milk. It calls for a third, but I like to do a little bit more, especially when I'm adding stuff to it to get a little more of a coat on it. So put in your cheese product flaming hot packet into the top of it. Now get you a wooden spoon so the ancestors don't come out of the woods and get you, and give it a stir. Now, like I said, that butter is just one big piece, and it takes a little while to melt it, especially if you're just working on the residual heat from the noodles. So I go ahead and take a knife and cut it up into smaller pieces. I really don't show you all this in the video, but I do this a lot, mostly because I just want to show you how many it's in there. I don't want to say like, hey, I put 4 tablespoons in it and I cut it into 2 pieces, and everybody's like, oh, you said 4. I don't want to get yelled at like that again. So once you get it nice and stirred up, get your brat chunks and go ahead. Now again, if you cooked them at one size and you think it's going to be too big or you got small mouths, go ahead and cook it and cut them into smaller pieces. That's absolutely fine. You're not going to lose anything that way other than a little bit of width or size, right? So give it a nice stir, give it a good toss, make sure that cheesy product gets all over your brats, and this is ready to serve. You can add a little bit of green onion if you got it in your budget on top. Add a little bit of spice. Now, this was supposed to be flaming hot. It wasn't as flaming hot as advertised, even as the old Funyuns. I miss the flaming hot Funyuns. I don't know if they even make those anymore. So I added a little bit of my pureed jalapeno to this one. You can kind of see the green there. But it turned out really well. It tastes good. I'm not a fan of mac and cheese by itself myself, so this worked out really well. You could probably use it as meal prep, even though I wouldn't want to reheat these noodles or the cheese product anywhere, but you can probably get it done. So yeah, give this one a shot.
And there you have it, folks. It's a thing. It's food. It's bright orange. It's not nearly as flaming hot as I expected, so that's why in some of the pictures I showed you that I add a little bit of this jalapeno stuff to it, just to add a little more spice, a little bit of seasoned salt on it, a little slap your mama just to get a little fire to it. You can probably do some hot sauce. Know what I'm talking about? Throw that in there. That's good. Or this one here. Shameless plug for the truff stuff. I like it. It's expensive, but it's good. But yeah, it worked out. If you do it differently, you want to see me do it differently and revisit it, use a different type of sausage. I want to use some like the jalapeno stuff from HEB. That's usually pretty good. Let me know. Put it down in the comments. That's what they're there for. And you can also find us on social media. Tell me over there. We're on Facebook, Pinterest, Patreon. We're at all those. Then Between Paychecks Kitchen. We're also on Instagram. Then Between, had to shorten it down over there. Me, Oswald Nerdy. I'm on all those, including over on Twitter and TikTok. But I'm generally just talking nerd stuff, action figures, comic books, painting miniatures, D&D, LARPing. I do a lot of nerd stuff. So, yeah, I'll see you over there, or see you back here next week. Y'all enjoy the food. Please be safe, okay?